Now, let's take a look at the financial module on Data.IFAD. This module has 5 menus: bank accounts, withdrawal requests, transactions, payments, and reports. The first menu, bank accounts, is where we can register projects' bank accounts. For that, we must first click on the Add button. The system will open the form to register a new bank account. Here we have to inform the account name. We should also inform the account nature, which can be a bank account or an accounting account. If it's a bank account, we have to inform the bank, the account number, and the agent's number. The start date of that account, the initial balance of that account, the account type, and the currency that will be used on that account. That's the information needed to register a new bank account on Data.IFAD. After registering all the accounts, here represented by those 3 types of account, we should move to register a withdrawal request. To register a new withdrawal request, you should go to the designated menu, and to add a new withdrawal request, we have to click on the Add button. A withdrawal request can be of several different types. Here show us direct payment and refunds, for example. In some of those cases, it will be necessary to inform more details. For example, which activity are related to that direct payment, or who receive it. In other cases, we will not have to inform that many details, but only the main fields of a withdrawal request. Again, the ones with the red stars are mandatory. To add a new request, you should inform the date of the request, the source of funds, the request number, the currency used on that transaction as well. The requested amount, and the account related to that request. Here we can also insert some comments related to that specific request. After registering the withdrawal request, you should click on the Save button, and the system will open a new form where you should upload the supported documentation to that specific request. After uploading those support documents, we can submit this request to IFAD or we can cancel it. In this case, our request has everything it needs and we want to submit it to IFAD, so we'll click on Submit Request. Very important, after submitting a request, we cannot change or update it in any way. On the IFAD interface, the request made by the project will appear at the disbursement menu on the financial module. Here, the IFAD staff responsible for it will have all the withdrawal requests registered by the programs and its status. Our request, the request number 7, has the submitted status. To approve this request, the IFAD user has to click on the request number. Here, the user will check all the information registered. Below that first screen, the user will see a form where it will be possible to register disbursement information. If this request was already approved, the user will inform the date, the amount, investment as well, the account that will receive the funds, the amount on the destination account, and the user can also insert some notes about that action right below. After finishing it, you just have to click on the Save button, and that way the disbursement was made. For the program user to see its request as approved, the IFAD user must click on the Approved Disbursement. If for some reason this action is incorrect and cannot proceed, the IFAD user must click on the Cancel Request button. Now we will approve this disbursement and then check how it appears on the program interface. On the project interface, the one used by the programs, we can check that status on the Withdrawal Requests menu. Here we can see that the request was approved by IFAD, and if the user wants to see which information were added on the IFAD interface, you just have to click on the request number, move it to the end of the form, and here we can check the information added by the IFAD user. After its approval, now we can manage the amounts between accounts. For that, we must move to the Transactions menu. On this menu, we can register transactions between bank accounts or income values. To register a transfer, we should inform the source, the date of transaction, the amount on the source, the destination account, and the amount on the destination account. That way we can register a transfer between projects' accounts. We can also register income generated into those accounts. To do that, we only need to select Income on the menu and register the information related to that transaction, including the total income amount. We can also insert comments about that specific transaction. After clicking on the Save button, we successfully register an income for that specific account. After registering withdrawal requests, bank accounts, and transactions, we can begin registering payments on the Data.IFAD system. To do that, we need to go back to the sidebar and click on the Payments menu. To add a new payment, we should click on the Add button. The system will then show us the registration form for a payment. Here we should inform the component, subcomponent, action, and activity related to that payment, the person, that can be an individual or a company, responsible for receiving the payment, the currency of the payment, the total amount, and if possible, a brief description of that expenditure. After registering that data, the system will then open another form where we can register more details about that same payment. We should inform the sources, the date of payment, the amount paid, which bank account was used to do that payment, as well as the bank order number generated after the payment. By clicking Save, we register that payment details on the Data.IFAD system. It is also possible to upload an expense using an Excel spreadsheet. To do that, we need to click on the Upload button. Here you should download the template Excel spreadsheet. Here's the template spreadsheet. to book charge these expenditures, you need to follow the patterns on that template spreadsheet. On this first space, we should add the payment ID. If we repeat that number, for example, it means that we are uploading details for the same payment. In this case, 2 details for the same payment. Here, we can see that part of the payment will be done by IFAD and the other by the Malawian government. If we look from the total amount, it's clear that 70% will be funded by IFAD and 30% by the Malawian government. We should also inform the component, the subcomponent, action, and activities ID, as well as the currency used for the payment, the details ID, the source of funds, the date of payment, its amount, the issuing bank account, the bank order number, the type of person, if it's an individual or a company, its nationality, its registration number, its name, and etc. Here at the end, we can see the details of every information on the template spreadsheet. After registering all information, we should move back to the system and upload the spreadsheet by clicking on the Upload File button. Now we can see that the system inserted 2 new entries, both extracted from the Excel spreadsheet. The last menu on the financial module is the one designed to reporting. On that menu, we can generate 6 reports. The first one is related to payments done by the program. On the form, and to generate a report, we should inform the currency that should figure on that report and the payment period. After clicking on Generate, the system will create this PDF report with the data related to the payments on that specific period previously selected. Another possible report is the statement of investments. This report shows all the expenditures organized by category. To generate that report, you should select the currency and the date we want to extract that information. By clicking on Generate, the system will create a PDF report with the payments data organized by category and sources of funds as well. The third report shows information of the accounts transactions. To generate this report, we should select the account and the start and end date of transactions. After clicking in Generate, the system will create a PDF report with the data related to that specific bank account. In a report with all the transactions done on the selected period. Another possible report is the IRF report. To generate that report, we should choose the currency and the period we want to analyze. After clicking on the Generate button, the system will then create a PDF report with all the bank accounts and balances. The fifth report is the loan and balance report. To generate this report, we should then choose the currency and the date we want to analyze. After clicking on Generate, the system will then create a PDF report consolidated by category and subcategory, and of course the financial amounts related to each field. Finally, the last report available on this module is the analysis of expenditures on each component of the program. To generate this report, we need to choose only the currency and the date we want to analyze. After clicking on Generate, the system will create this PDF report organized by component, showing the amounts planned, applied, and yet to be applied.